And then we have sandwiched and blurt out. I know you've probably heard these words before. The word dubious means uncertain, unsure, or doubtful. So synonyms for dubious are going to be those words, uncertain, unsure, and doubtful. If you are dubious about something that you are told, then you are doubtful about it. You aren't sure that it is true or accurate. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think, would you be dubious? So let's say someone knocks on your door and you open the door and the person says, congratulations, you've won $1 million. Would you be dubious? Why or why not? Right, you might be excited, but you might be a little doubtful, like, $1 million, that's a lot of money just to give away. Let's look at another example. It's 6 p.m. and your mother says, brush your teeth, it's time for bed. Would you be dubious? Why or why not? Right, you might be a little doubtful because 6 p.m. might be the time that you normally sit down to eat dinner. And now mom is saying, brush your teeth, time to go to bed. Let's look at the next word. That word is sandwiched. Things. So this is an idiom. You know, we think of a sandwich with 2 pieces of bread and everything squished in between. But if 3 people are sitting together, the person in the middle is sandwiched between or squeezed between the 2 other people, as you see here in this photograph of 3 young ladies sitting in the back seat of a car. Another example refers to this house. The house is sandwiched or squeezed between 2 other buildings. So I want you to think of maybe a time when you've been sandwiched between people. How did it feel to be sandwiched between 2 people or 2 things? If you have someone next to you, you can turn and talk or think to yourself. Right, it probably felt very crowded and rather uncomfortable. The last word we're going to look at is blurt out. And blurt out means to say something suddenly without thinking. So we are going to play a game and it is called Did Milton Blurt Out? Milton is annoyed. His friend is on the computer and Milton wants to use it. Milton doesn't want to start an argument, so he thinks quietly for a moment and then he says, you've been on the computer for quite a while. Is it okay if I use it for a bit? So did Milton blurt out here? If you have someone next to you, you can turn and talk or think to yourself. Let's look at another example. The class is working quietly on math problems. Milton is struggling with a problem when suddenly he figures it out. He leaps from his chair and shouts, I've got it, I've got it. Is this an example of Milton blurting out? Why do you think so? All right, so that wraps up day 3. We'll see you back tomorrow for day 4.